Hello, welcome to the Entrepreneurship and Innovation module. I wanted to record a video just to welcome you all to the module. Entrepreneurship and innovation is something I'm really passionate about as an academic, and I asked ChatGPT to create me an image of entrepreneurship, and I gave it some parameters, and this is the image that it's come up with. So this is the image I'm going to use for this module. I think this module is all about the journey. It's about starting out with an idea and seeing it through to fruition. We could see entrepreneurship as an alternative to traditional employment routes, or we could see it as a supportive side hustle. We could see it as a way of making money alongside maybe a job or other income. Equally, we could look at intrapreneurship, so we might see intrapreneurship or entrepreneurship within the company as a way of getting ahead within a company. So you might have a job and you might display some entrepreneurial flair and excel within the company. So you might be able to set up a business unit within the company, or you might be able to take an idea and innovate that idea. And lastly, I thought, well, entrepreneurship is a real social means to improve situations, which is what I think this picture is depicting. On the left, we've got someone who's really not in a good state. He's no shoes. He's maybe working in agriculture. He's got quite a bad back. Whereas on the right, we've got the business person. He's got a nice pair of shoes. He's stood a lot better. He's clearly in a better position. And that's the journey that we're going to take in this module. We're going to look at the situation, look at what we can do. We'll look at the data as symbolised by the graph. We might look at social media. We might look at connections that we've got. We might look at the resources we can get hold of. And we'll come up with an idea and we'll grow that idea. That's the light bulb and the tree coming out of the top. And eventually we'll hopefully end up with a better situation. I just wanted to take a minute to share my own entrepreneurial journey with you all. I've been very lucky. Some time ago, I was working at a college, and I think I was the lowest paid teacher in the country at the time. And I wanted to buy a house. And as any of you who live in England or know the English property market, know that buying a house without a deposit, just forget it. So I needed to get a deposit together, and I had nothing. And me and my partner at the time, we thought a lot about it. We thought, well, what can we do? How can we make a little bit of money? And I bought the white bus in the picture at the bottom, and me and my friend built a simulated cave in it. That's me in the top picture crawling through the cave. It's a load of tunnels you crawl through inside the bus, and it's supposed to be like you're in a cave. And we started hiring it out for kids' parties and for school sports days and scout camps, and it grew and it grew and it grew really well, and we did very well out of it. I bought the house outright. We didn't need the mortgage in the end. And I've got 30 of these buses now all over the country, and they go out to schools, they go out to scout groups. Even the army use them sometimes for confined space training. So yeah, it started out as a side hustle, as a way of making a little bit extra money to get me on the property ladder to look after my family. And it's grown into something that supports us all, really. So I'm really passionate about enterprise and the ability of entrepreneurial actions to change situations, go from struggling and not able to, being homeless, I guess, to a point where actually you've got enough to get by without needing to work anymore. And it's been a fantastic journey. I've loved every minute of it. We've met some amazing people on our way, and now I employ a team of people, and I've got some really good people who work for me, and we've made some great friendships and some really good memories over the years. So without getting too into it, I can really endorse the idea of having a side hustle or setting up your own business. That's just my story. What I'm going to do as we go through this module, I'm going to create another side hustle. I'm going to create another little venture. Every stage of this module, I will ask you to do another activity, and those activities will come together and ultimately will make up the endpoint assessment. They'll be the different elements of the business model canvas, and I'm going to do it as well as we go through the module. And who knows, if I come out of the module with a really good idea, I might tell the university to get the job and set that up instead. We'll see. Before we go any further, I'd just like to take a minute to define what I mean by the side hustle. So for the purposes of this module, we're looking at an additional source of income. Now, you might want to use this module to create a venture that is your only source of income or your main source of income. That's fine. Equally, you might not want to create an additional source of income at all. You might just want to pass the module and create it theoretically. Again, that's fine. Or you might think, well, I'll create a little side hustle. I'll have a little side business. So I've got my main job, and on the side, I'm going to have this additional source of income. That's also fine. That this module could be used for that. The reason I want to clarify the term side hustle is because I guess the term side hustle is a bit slang almost. It's not really an academic term. So in terms of this module, when we refer to the side hustle, we mean an additional source of income. Nothing illegal. It must be legal, it must be above board in your jurisdiction. And taxes have to be paid on all earnings. In the UK, we have law that any income must be declared. I'm not here to give anyone financial advice, but if you did decide to set up a side hustle, be aware that in the UK you would be expected to pay taxes on any additional earnings, or you would be at least expected to declare them. If you've got a side hustle that's becoming quite successful, without a doubt I'd advise you to go find an accountant as soon as possible just to do your annual return for you, because it becomes a very complex exercise. Brilliant, let's move on and start the module.